the greater good.
Hey everybody, Greater Good Mining here. Iceriver just tweeted out that they have the KS5L, KS5M, and the KS0 Ultra in stock. And here are the prices. $349 for the KS0 Ultra, 400 gigahash at 100 watts. KS5L, 12 terahash, 3400 watts, $76.99. KS5M, 15 terahash, 3400 watts, $11.99. And that does not include the tariffs that you would have to pay, so don't forget about that. So they have also reactivated my discount code, and I will show it on the screen, and it will be in the description of this video. Now, I just want to say, I've always said this since the beginning, be careful if you're thinking about getting into Kaspa mining, because the emission schedule is aggressive, and here is the countdown till the next reduction from 110 CAS to 103.83 CAS. And here's the full Kaspa emission schedule. I will leave links to both of these in the description so you can look for yourself and see how fast the emission schedule is. And then also the hash rate. I've said this in a lot of videos, but I want to say it again now, because when I got my first Iceriver in June, it was in the 1 petahash region. It is now in the 300 petahash region. That means you're competing against a lot of other powerful miners that are coming out in the last few months. So just be careful. And also the timing of this with, potentially, not saying this will happen, but potentially a bull run coming, you've got less time to mine back the money that you're spending on these Icerivers. So if you're going to do this, I want to make sure first, before I even get deeper into the video, that you're warned about those things if you don't already know. If you already know, you're probably going to do this anyway. So the shipping date, the shipping window is mid-June, June 15th to June 30th. I've said this, I've done videos on this where they will probably ship towards the end of June, highly likely. This happens a lot, and I want to warn anybody that's thinking about ordering these, it's probably not going to be, people get so frustrated. They're like, well, my shipping window is June 15th and it's June 29th and it hasn't shipped yet. It's like, there's been plenty of times where this window isn't always like when they actually ship. It could be at the very end of it. It could be even a day or two after the end of the window. It also depends on how fast you get in line. If you went and ordered one right now, you'd be likely to get it shipped out to you towards the end of June. If you wait a few days until the stock's lower, or even a week or something, if these are even available, then you're going to be at the very end of the shipping window, or the very end of the line, if you know what I mean. So just be aware of that. I want to warn people ahead of time this time, because I've done videos on this. People get frustrated. They watch the hash rate go up when other people are getting their, powerful miners. So I just want you to know the real deal. So now that you have heard everything I have to say about it, be careful. If we are all hoping the bull run's coming, then you might not have that much time to mine a good amount of yield to sell at a good price. Now, you might be really happy that you get one of these, because maybe in the bull run, if Kaspa goes up, maybe Hopium, it's $1 or more, and you're mining X amount of dollars in Kaspa per day, and you're happy. I'm glad. I want that to happen for you. But be aware there's cycles. So anyway, $349 for the KS0 Ultra. I'm kind of actually surprised it's that low of a price. I wasn't sure what they would do, but because the hash rate's gone up so high, I think they kind of have to price it like this, because the price appreciation hasn't really happened that much for Kaspa. It's been chopped around 13 or 14 cents. So it's not, touched its all-time high. Recently, it's not back up to that 18-cent range. Now, if the price goes up, you might be happy that you get one of these. So let's go ahead and click into the KS0 Ultra and check it out real quick. I'm sure it looks exactly like the other KS0s. So, for that kind of wattage, they must have improved chips. All of these, they could have some extra chips, but I feel like to keep that efficiency, they must have better chips in them. So you will need the power supply. So that adds an extra $20, but I would recommend getting one. I'll leave a link, the Amazon link that I use for my power supplies that are a little higher wattage, because if everything plays out the way it has in the past, you'll probably be able to overclock these. Am I going to get one of these? I don't know. Maybe. I can't help myself but to try like these things out. I like to mess with them. So maybe stay tuned. I'll let you know in another video if I end up ordering one or getting one. I do like to mess with these. I do like to overclock them. So that's the Iceriver KS0 Ultra, 400 gigahash, 100 watts. So now let's go ahead and check out the KS5L. It looks like it's the same design, like very similar design to the KS3, KS3M. The power supply looks similar too. So it looks like the kits that are available for cooling should work on these. So I think you could probably still get like Fruition Designs kit. I have a discount code for that. I'll flash it on the screen if you want to get one. And that way you can cool these and, keep them quiet if you have a home mining situation like I have. So anyway, 12 terahash KS5L, 3,400 watts. I don't want to speculate because I don't have one of these to test it on, but you might be able to get a control board for the KS5M and put it into one of these. I don't know if that's going to be the case with the KS5L and the KS5M. It was the case for the KS3L and the KS3M. I have a video where I got a control board for the KS3M and I put it into my KS3L and it works just like a KS3M. But I don't know if that will be the case for the KS5L and the KS5M. So let's take a look at the KS5M. Let's take a look at the break-even calculator from Coder of Stuff, and then we will see what it shows for a break-even on this. But it's really hard to predict. I think that Coder of Stuff made a really great break-even calculator, but nobody knows what will happen. Now, Bitmain has more powerful units. Iceriver has more powerful units. The prices are dropping on them because Kaspa's price hasn't gone up that much lately. So who knows what you'll end up yielding per day, because that hash rate's going up and the emission schedule is aggressive, like I said. So let's take a look at the Coder Stuff's break-even calculator. We'll run all three machines through, and I will include tariffs because in the USA, you will pay about 25% tariffs on each of these. So I will include that in Coder of Stuff's break-even calculator, so we kind of like have a little bit more of a realistic take on the situation. So let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so for the KS0 Ultra, the cost they're saying is $349, 400 gigahash, 100 watts, and that's at 10 cent kilowatt hour. I always leave the link to this calculator in all of my videos so you guys can play with these numbers. Don't get mad at me for what I'm showing you on the screen. A lot of people get feisty with me. It's like, I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your kilowatt hour cost is and all that stuff. So right now, just the cost of the machine, not including like the power supply and things like that, it's saying you would not break even at the current price of Kaspa until October of 2025. And I put the mining start date on the good old 4th of July because, you know what, this isn't shipping until the end of June and maybe even into early July. So realistically, you won't get this machine for about another month. So daily yield in Kaspa, about 11 Kas per day, and daily yield in fiat would be $1.30. So you would really be counting on Kaspa price appreciation. Now I'm going to do a little adjustment here because the power supply that I recommend is about $60, I believe. So let's just at least put $400. You can get them cheaper. So $400, you should be able to get a very good power supply if you ever think you might want to overclock this, if that becomes available. I don't know if it is available, but it could become available. So let's go ahead and break even. It says you'll be in the negative. But that is if the price of Kaspa never changes. Your hopium scenario would be, a lot of people are saying Kaspa could go to $1. I'm not saying it will. Who knows? But let's just go punch in $1 just to see what happens, because that seems to be like everyone's latched onto $1 for Kaspa. So let's take a look at that. Now, if you were mining with this starting 4th of July, you paid $400 for it. The break even says it would be August of 2024 if Kaspa hits $1 and you hodl it and you sell it at just the right time when it hits $1. I don't know what Kaspa will do. Nobody does. But that changes things. And I mean, most likely if you're mining, you're hoping the price of whatever coin you're mining goes up. So that would be like $11 daily yield, because 11 Kaspa daily yield. So that's the Hopium version. And let's go ahead and punch in like the KS5L. Okay, so here's the KS5L base price, 12,000 gigahash, 12 terahash, 3,400 watts. And you're lucky if you have an electric rate of 10 cents. If you have this hosted, you can get a lower rate than that, obviously. But if you're a home miner, you're likely paying more. So you guys play with the kilowatt hours. Now, this is without tariffs, okay? And this is, actually, let me change this to July 1st because it defaulted back to June 1st. We won't be getting these. You won't be getting these until July, basically. You can almost count on that. So I'll just say 4th of July again because nobody knows for sure when these will exactly ship. So without tariffs, it will be all the way through April 12th, 2025 before this thing breaks even at the current price of Kaspa. And I'm not even going to do the Hopium version on this one until we punch tariffs in. Tariffs will be in the US 25% pretty much. I don't know if you're, say, like Canada, UK. I don't know the rules of other countries. I just know that if you bought this directly from Iceriver in the US, you're going to be paying about 25%. So that would bring it up to about $9,600. So let's punch in 9,600. Break even would be August of 2025. So over a year from now, that's what the break even would be if the price of Kaspa never changed. So your daily yield in Kaspa on a KS5L would be about 340 Kaspa currently. And then don't forget, I showed you earlier, the emission schedule is aggressive. This will drop and the hash rate's going to go up. So guaranteed in a couple months, your daily yield will be lower. Okay, so know what you're getting into with Kaspa mining. And daily yield in fiat currently is about 39 bucks, but that will always change. Hopium version, like I said, this is just, everyone keeps on saying Kaspa, what if it went to $1? And I'm hoping it does too. That'd be great. It would be life-changing money for a lot of people. So let's just do the Hopium version with the tariffs and see what happens. It's saying if, it would be in retrospect, maybe whenever Kaspa hits $1, you would have been mining $330 in Kaspa, $330 in fiat per day if you sold at the right time when Kaspa hit $1. So it's saying that you would break even in August of this year if you did everything right and made all the right moves and everything works out perfectly. So let's move on to the KS5M. Okay, so now we've got the KS5M data punched in without the tariffs, 11,999, 15,000 gigahash. I remember it's so crazy. Like when I was mining this with GPUs, like over a year and a half ago, it's just crazy to see like one machine capable of 15,000 gigahash. It's just crazy. Anyway, so 3,400 watts, same kilowatt hours, price of Kaspa 0.138, July 4th delivery date. So break even is saying July 8th of 2025. 1 year away if the price of Kaspa doesn't change. Now I'm going to do the tariffs like I did for the other miner. Brings you up to, realistically, after tariffs are paid, about $15,000. So let's just punch that in and see where we're really at. So that would bring you out to April of 2026 if the price of Kaspa didn't change. Now, Hopium version, kind of same thing. August 9th, 2024. If you mine and make all the perfect moves and Kaspa eventually hits $1 and you hodled it and sold it just at the right time, in retrospect, you would have been mining $415 per day in fiat. But this is the Hopium version. Don't forget, guys, like this is like if everything works out perfectly, and it could go higher than that. I don't know what it'll do. It could never get past the recent all-time high of 18 cents. Nobody knows. So, you take on a lot of risk when you buy expensive miners, especially ASICs. You guys hopefully know that if you're around. If you're new, just know that in another 6 months to a year, there's going to be something else that comes out that beats this, and it'll be cheaper, and the hash rate could be double by then, because they're just going to keep making these as long as people keep buying them. So not to say that you can't make out okay if you buy these. I don't know what will happen, and I don't want to discourage people from buying them if they know all of the facts. And if you know the facts and you're getting into this like with eyes wide open, then go for it. Like you know what you're doing. You're a big boy or a big girl. You can make your own decisions. But if you're new and you're seeing people showing you numbers like this, I just want you to know that that's like best case scenario, and not everyone's going to make out on this. We don't know when the bull run will come in, and we don't know. It could be 6 months from now. It could be a year from now. It could be never. Like, what if we have like World War III or something crazy happens? You just never know. So just be careful if you're new. It's exciting when you see these things making tons of money every day, but be aware, like, these things can break down. They can have problems and you miss out on yield. There's going to be new models coming out that can completely crush these eventually. Just for example, my KS3, which was very expensive, it's overclocked to like 8 or 9 terahash. This thing crushes it. It's the same amount of wattage, about 3,400 watts for a KS3. I'm getting 8 or 9 terahash, and now you have machines that are coming out that are double that. Like the Bitmain KS5 is like more than double what my KS3 can do for the same wattage, and it's going to be cheaper than what I paid for the KS3. Now, granted, I was able to yield quite a bit of Kaspa because I bought it back when the mission schedule was giving out more Kaspa, and then also I did have it when the hash rate was lower. So this is a tricky one, guys. Like, just be careful. I don't want anybody to get wrecked. I've said that for a long time on these. I just want to make sure everyone's careful. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful to you. If you're new, I hope that it opened your eyes to the realities of Kaspa mining. And if you're experienced and you want to pull the trigger, go for it. You already know what you're doing. You can use my discount code. I'll flash it on the screen one more time. It'll save you a little bit of money. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing to my channel. I've got tons of crypto mining content, not just Kaspa. I talk about Dynax, Hash AI. I've done some overclocking videos. I got my Tangem wallet setup video, all kinds of interesting things. So check it out. Like the video if you actually got some value out of it. Subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to keep it decentralized for the greater good.
The greater good.